Well, it's me again. Back on the scene, back on the trail. I'm on Mount Adams. It's September 1st, 2011. And starting up the Crofton Ridge Trail. Basically, this is the largest section untouched. There's no trails, no roads, there's just kind of like a big triangle up here beyond the trail. So I'm going to hike backcountry up to the Round the Mountain Trail, and it's going to be about 2 miles through the woods, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Well, I'm into the woods a bit here, kind of slow going through this backcountry area. Nice that it's open. I can have a good line of sight. However, the grass is a little deep and there's a bunch of blowdowns and unsure footing. I tripped on one and nailed my knee right into a broken off branch. A little thick, like down here where you've got the short fir pine trees growing, and when you go through the thick stuff, you got to make sure you're vocal so that the animals know you're coming. Well, there's Mount Adams. It's a little harder than I thought, this ridgeline hike. Mosquitoes now. Don't know where they came from. There's no water up here. But I've got some climbing to do. You can see that row of trees up there. Probably 400 feet, 500 feet of climbing. Hope it's not too steep. Oh well. Well, things aren't so bad. Some nice open grassy slopes. Just hope it keeps up like this. That one tree lined slope that I was looking at was pretty daunting to see. But this I came up through, probably right down in there. Got a view of Mount Hood. There's a fire going on now. You can see all the smoke coming up off the mountain there on this side. It's a real shame because in the last 3 or 4 years, almost half that side of the mountain has been burned out. Just a real pity. It's almost like a sign of things to come. I've lived out here 15 years and I've seen so many forests just burn. Has to do with the global warming and the clear cutting and all that, I'm pretty sure. We did get a good snow pack this spring. There's still probably about the most snow I've seen up here, but it's not helping over there. That was started by lightning. Still got a ways to go up this slope yet. You can hear the Clark's Nutcracker. And I know that I'm getting up high in elevation, so I think I've got just this little knoll to breach, and then maybe one more after that. It's just beautiful up here. I've been wanting to check this out for so long. I think I've got One more small butte to climb. See the mountain now through here. My hopes are getting up that I'll be to the trail soon. I've got probably another 2 miles to hike after that. Yeah, look at there's some snow right there. Whoa. We are very close. Very close to being on that trail. And I can't believe I didn't see any animals. Up here in this sandy terrain, there were so many footprints. So, look at that. Wow. Just fabulous. So, my campsite is around the side of the mountain that way. That's where I wanted to go. First I have to get to the trail. This is it. Pretty much the top of Crofton Ridge. It goes up a little more. The trail is somewhere down in here. And I guess I'm gonna push on. This is really interesting terrain, Salt Creek drainage. This right here is springing right out of the ground, all of this water. Almost kind of desert-like, not much topsoil. This up here is really interesting. That slope up there, I climbed up there once. And there's a big goat population, albino mountain goat population on this mountain. I ran into a herd around the other side once, and they like to get away from everyone. They're up beyond the tree line. Got some clouds building up here. My campsite is just around this ridge. I had just enough time to set up. Beautiful out here. Here's a look at the Crofton Ridge that I hiked up. But started down there somewhere. Beautiful wildflowers. I think generally by September 1st they'd be dried up, but you can see there's still snow lingering around. Here we are. It's actually a spot that I camped at last year. I had to use this right here for a cook stove. Running low on fuel last year, not this year though. Pack is pretty heavy. And actually there's 5 days worth of food and I only need 4. I just decided to bring it anyway. I was going to go for 5 days and instead it was 4. And the stove fuel, not skimping on that this year. 6 or 7 miles hiked today. Fabulous. Feel great. Just in the nick of time for sunlight. We have to filter some water and start cooking dinner. We're out the next morning. Today we're going to high camp. We're going to connect to the Pacific Crest Trail and hike another 6 miles or so. Beautiful flowers. Just incredible, all these flowers out here. Smell so sweet when you come into a patch of the lupine. This is really a nice view of the mountain and this big open meadow. And this is just about the first time I've ever seen water running in this creek. You can see it's silty, and that's all snow melt. Usually there's no water between where I camped, which is a tributary to Cascade Creek, just near Looking Glass Lake, and all the way around the other side to Riley Creek. It's usually completely dry. So that's why I'm carrying a lot of water. As we continue north around the mountain, we're having views of Mount Ranier. Nice clear view today, not too much smog or smoke. You can see the marine layer of clouds edging back. And also over here, Mount St. Helens. I wanted to point out where I was last week. Took me a little while to piece it together, but it is a place called Quartz Creek, and it's a tributary to the Lewis River. You can see the clear cut right there. That's where I started. And I went around that ridge, dropped into the creek valley, followed the creek valley all the way up to a place called Jumbo Peak, which, let's see, it's right there. That's Jumbo Peak. And just to the left, I was camped. It was a good 10 or 12 miles up, but I was camped up there, and the strawberries were just delicious. So many of them, the little tiny white ones. They're ripe and just delicious. And down below in that creek valley, it's pretty much untouched, and I had come across some old growth trees that were 40 or 50 feet in diameter. What a great trip that was. Yes, picturesque scene here. Riley Creek Valley right here with a great camp spot just on the north side of the creek and up like 25-30 yards. Also down farther in the valley is Sheep Lake, which I've never been to, but it's probably pretty buggy right now. Now we have a view of the Goat Rocks. Well, here I am out in this huge abyss of rocks. This is all a big wash out area. Adams Creek is just over here, but it must have really just, look at, it's huge. It's like a quarter-mile wide, this rock washout. And I was thinking I'd be able to get away from the mosquitoes out here. No such luck, they're everywhere. I believe that ridge over there, that rocky one, is where high camp is, at the top of that. Yeah, hopefully there aren't any bugs up there. I hope there's water up there, because I'm gonna be going up there dry. It's an 800-foot climb,
and I'm pooped for the day.
Well, we're climbing up to high camp. Just really beautiful up here. Rugged terrain. Still haven't figured out where I'm going. It might be there. It might be up there. Or this might be the top right here. What a relief. Take those off. They're all sweaty. Well, I'm up here, just above high camp. This'll do nice. Got the snow melting. Thought for sure there'd be some kind of running water with all this snow up here, but no.
Okay, I've got a side story. Those big funky sunglasses that I've had on, well, I dropped on the trail when I looked at the map and was talking with somebody. And so I went back down from here to the trail and looked around at the trail. They weren't there. I didn't know I dropped them there. I didn't know where the hell they were, but some guy comes through here and we're talking. I say, hey, you see some glasses? And he said, yeah, my friend's got them. But his friend, like, hiked back to their camp 3 miles away with my glasses. And supposedly, they're coming up here tomorrow to camp somewhere, but this place is so big, who knows where they'll be. So, if I'm lucky, I'll get up early enough and get down on the trail and either see them coming up the trail or see them at their campsite. They told me where they're camped. Yeah, pretty weird set of circumstances there.
A little tiny Indian paintbrush up here. Almost 8,000 feet. Yeah, getting dizzy. We're just gonna go right up here and turn back. Look at this. So close. Look at those glaciers, man. Look at that. There's the top. Doesn't look that far. Yeah, look down here, you can see all the lakes and snow reflecting. There's a lake, there's a lake. Oh, yeah, look over here. Man, we are way up here. Just want to get a look around the side. Okay, this is it. Yeah. Just curious if you can make a shortcut from that high camp. Well, you'd have to cross the snow. This, you can see, would be a rather wicked traverse along that snowfield. You'd have to go all the way to the top of that, because it looks like it gets really steep. And actually the ridge that I need to get to is that one way over there. So there's one ridge in between that you have to get over. Oh well, it's cool to check out. So glad I got out of that tent, away from that campsite. Didn't know I had any more energy.
It was a very cold night, cold morning. It's froze here. This is all frozen. I got the thermometer out this morning and it read 40. And it was cold in the tent. I had a horrible night's sleep. And the sun is hitting this little rise down here. So the campers down there are getting nice warm sun. Not me. Having second thoughts about this trip around the mountain. It's pretty rugged. This patch of snow here is pretty darn solid and slippery, and I'm thinking I have to climb up this glacier tomorrow afternoon. It needs to be hot. It needs to be melted by the sun, or I won't be able to climb it. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I got the glasses back this morning. Crossed paths with the fellas not too long ago. Yeah, this is Killen Creek meadows, and the bugs are just horrible here right now. Basically, when you get stopped somewhere, you've got about 2 minutes, and then they swarm on you. Yesterday I was camped up there, high camp. My tent was somewhere right up in there, and last night I climbed up to there. I'm gonna hike through Foggy Flats and then up to Devil's Garden today, and then back down. It's a little sandier on this side of the mountain. Still hoping to find someone that is hiking around the mountain, because Avalanche Valley is really intimidated, and it's you against the world when you're there. But I doubt I'll see anyone. Foggy Flat. There's a tent there. I've seen a bunch of horse tracks. Well, we have some equestrians here. Well, I guess I'm gonna take a break. I'm sure the bugs will be on me in a minute or so. Well, I'm up to the lava field, and basically I think I have to go up there. Or it may be the next ridge after that. I know I have to get higher than this. And that's Red Butte. Feeling pretty good. I'm more than halfway through for the day. It's just I got to get up this climb and then go back down. And I think I'll call it a day. Well, I'm about halfway up this lava field. Very faint trail. It's been washed out. Many people have left cairns to mark the way. This river, or creek here, is snow covered this year, and I'm going to have to negotiate that. I think the trail is just up there. Strangely enough, last night I think I was up near these rocks here. And I think I was looking at that snowfield right there. And there is a possible traverse if it's the same snowfield. And you could even just traverse right across to down here. I mean, it would save, I've been hiking 4 or 5 hours. Might not be as safe. Here I am again at the top of Devil's Garden. Incredible views. There's the mountain right there. And now I'm gonna head down into the Yakima Indian Reservation. Well, we've got some people that have possibly done the glacier. I'll get to talk with them in a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in this stretch here. Fabulous, beautiful stretch. This is a site that is very hard to attain. You can't drive up into the trailhead and just walk up here. There's some goats. I see a herd of goats over here. Up on top. Fabulous. Well, I'm gonna go to that saddle over there. That's where I'm camping. I was hoping to climb that butte, but there's no way I have any energy to do that right now. I'm just gonna get there and call it a day. This is one of my favorite parts of this hike around the mountain. I love this east side stunted lodgepole forest. These trees have got to be ancient to survive up here. You see all these rocks here, it washes out quite a bit. This is the trail. Right here, I'm walking on the trail. I've only had trouble with it once. The sun has gone down behind the mountain. It's kind of sad. It's still a bit early. There's still a few hours of sunlight left, but I don't think I'll have it. And it'll be nice. Would have been nice to have at the campsite at the end of the day, because you're all a little sweaty and you get a little chilled sometimes. But campsite is just through the trees there, probably a couple 100 yards, and then we're gonna call it a day. And what a day, what a great day. Managed to do this hike so far, and been having issues with my head, sinuses, waking up dizzy, tweaked out kneecap. That kneecap was broken in half, broke the bone, messed up the cartilage all around it. So having a kind of a rough go, but right now I'm doing all right. Fabulous flowers everywhere. Well, there's a cairn there. Maybe I'm not on the trail. There's a cairn. I just see the trail there, and that's all that counts. This is where I set up camp last night, right on this talus wall. I came from up there last night. This was a very chilly night. Unexpected, but this cold weather all of a sudden up here in the mountains. September, you can almost expect to switch into your warm clothes, gloves. I don't have gloves, and maybe even a warmer sleeping bag. It was below 40 again last night, and it was windy up here. Okay, this is the top of Avalanche Valley, and I'm pretty much, there's a creek coming down right there. I've camped there a few times. I go for that, and I just kind of angle up and around. Last year I came over this spot, which was a little too high. Here I am in the middle of no man's land. Beautiful view over here. I was camped up there. This was a little sketchy. It's always hard to predict where you're gonna end up, but here it's a nice, easy slope to navigate. And there's the glacier up there. Doesn't look too bad. I guess I need to get right up there. You can see there's some lines, and those lines are probably from water runoff. It looks pretty steep, but I've climbed up that, and I've climbed down that. The last time I came through here, I went around the top of those boulders, right in the middle, and over this way. I really don't know what I'm gonna do now. This drainage, the crossing, is rough. It's pretty wide, and that water's running fast. It's gonna take me a good hour and a half to even get to the snow, and then another 2 hours to get up to the top. But glad to be here. That's what I have to deal with right there. I might go above it through here. It doesn't look horribly steep. Looks like there's footprints there. Or, you know, I could cross between those two boulders. Be safer to cross between those two boulders there. And then I'll just make my way up, probably on the snow. See how slick it is. I think that first slope is steep, and then I'm gonna try to get into those runnels, which I actually think those are footprint trails. This is pretty rugged here. I'm gonna have to go down diagonal. This is it. And I have to get up there. That's an incredible contrast out in this wasteland. Well, this is sort of intimidating, but I think it's not a problem. I'm more concerned about boulders falling down, and fact is, this slope is probably the hardest thing. And if that glacier's not slippery, which I doubt, it'll be a piece of cake. This has got to be a once-in-a-lifetime deal. This is the Klickitat Glacier, and that's what's coming out of it. I'm right in the middle of it. That's the glacier right there. Here we are, the last push up this glacier, and honestly it's not bad at all. Very fortunate to have this hot, clear day. Getting good purchase with my boots. You can see there's little dips, depressions in the snow. Those are almost level, so you can kind of make your way up those and stay above those, and if you slip or slide and slide down into one of those, you're fine. I slipped once or twice down on that snow, but I didn't slide back. It's okay. Just one big push up to the top. That's about 8,500 feet. I made it up this glacier. The last little bit was a little sketchy. Hi, camp. Now I gotta hike some miles. Maybe 4 more miles. That was an amazing feat. It really was. I'm pretty darn pooped. I'm out of water. I broke my water filter this morning. Bad news, but I made it up. I just have about a mile to go through some more rocky terrain. I did fall on that slope there. It kind of smashed my ankle in between a boulder. But it's all downhill from now. Well, my heart just about stopped. Look at all that smoke. That's horrible. It's all fire smoke. I can't believe it. All the people on this planet and they can't even put out a fire. Just disgusting, man. That's not what I wanted to see. Well, this is where I'm going to spend my last night on my hike around Mount Adams. It's one of my favorite places. This winter, early spring, I skied up this lava flow all the way up here, and I saw wolverine tracks. And the last year, I saw a wolverine run up one of those ridges. From up here, I might get a view of what's burning over there. At night you can see flames. I came from up there. And my feet are pulverized. They just hurt so bad. The trail is actually right down here. You can see it. Unfortunately, with all this late snow here, there isn't any water running, so I'm going to have to melt snow for water. I'm kind of sad about that because I'm thirsty and I don't have a lot of water, and I need to hike around this side tomorrow morning and there's no running water. So we'll see how it goes.